Goodbye.
No, wait. Come back. Oh, please come back. I don't even know your name. How will I find you?
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 Disney couples who definitely broke up.
Bam! Smash! Bits of emotion flying everywhere.
For this list, we'll be looking at the romantic pairings from Disney movies that we think are most likely to call it quits. We'll be going into detail and spoiling some plots, FYI. Do you think any of these relationships can stand the test of time? Let us know in the comments below. Number 10. Esmeralda and Captain Phoebus, the Hunchback of Notre Dame franchise. This couple has good chemistry and great banter, but we're not sure that they have what it takes to make it long-term.
You sneaky son of a...
Watch it. You're in a church.
Are you always this charming, or am I just lucky?
Esmeralda and Phoebus come from different backgrounds and don't always see eye to eye. Their relationship has a rocky start since Phoebus is hired by Frollo to police the Romany people in Paris, including Esmeralda.
Didn't know you had a kid.
Well, he doesn't take kindly to soldiers.
I noticed.
We believe that they really do fall in love, but even in marriage, they continue to have disagreements. Esmeralda thinks the captain of the guard is showing prejudice when he blames Sarusha's circus for a string of robberies. Phoebus's assumptions end up being correct, but the fact that his wife thinks he's capable of being bigoted is a bad sign.
Achilles, do you believe this? Everybody is mad at me. How often does that happen? Rhetorical.
Number 9. Giselle and Robert Phillip, Enchanted franchise. We love Giselle and Robert's romantic arc in the original 2007 film, but the 2022 sequel kinda spoils it. It shows the couple and their family leaving behind New York City and moving to Monroeville, where a new set of problems emerge.
I never sing the right song anymore. And even when I make cupcakes, everything goes wrong.
Giselle attempts to use magic to improve things, but finds herself in a role that typically doesn't receive a happily ever after. Meanwhile, Robert is off doing his own thing and the two hardly interact.
I shall persevere. I shall conquer the craven beast. I shall...
No offense, sir, but you might want to find another profession.
At the end of the film, Giselle looks at her husband and comes to terms with the idea that happily ever after might not be possible. Although it's meant to be a heartwarming moment, we can't help but feel that Giselle is expressing dissatisfaction with life and marriage. Number 8. Pocahontas and John Smith, Pocahontas franchise. According to historians, Pocahontas and John Smith were just friends, but Disney makes them out to be romantically involved. Their forbidden love is the central focus of Disney's 1995 film.
I can't leave you.
You never will. No matter what happens to me, I'll always be with you. Forever.
Despite their affection for one another, they decide to go their separate ways not once, but twice. Pocahontas and John's farewell at the end of the first film isn't necessarily a breakup, but it seems unlikely that they'll be able to maintain a solid relationship from across the sea.
I'm needed here.
Then, I'll stay with you.
No. You have to go back.
They meet again in London, and John tries to convince Pocahontas to accompany him, but she ends up turning him down. Her choice probably has something to do with her new love interest, John Rolfe.
We walked the same path once. I have found where I belong.
I hope you will also find happiness.
Number 7. Mike Wazowski and Celia May, Monsters, Inc. Mike claims that Celia's the one, but we have our doubts.
Think romantical thoughts. You and me and you, both of us together.
Their relationship isn't a big part of Pixar's 2001 film, and at times it serves as a conflict. To celebrate Celia's birthday, Mike takes her on a date that doesn't go to plan. He abandons Celia to help Sully with Boo, leaving her to be decontaminated by the CDA alone.
Michael? Michael!
Oh, Celia!
Please come with me.
Stop pushing.
Hey, get your hands off my schmoopsy poo!
Building clear, ready for decontamination.
Well, I don't think that date could have gone any worse.
When he next sees her, Mike doesn't explain why their night ended in disaster. The one-eyed monster demonstrates better devotion to his friend than to his girlfriend. He doesn't treat Celia very well, and we wouldn't blame her for leaving.
Whoopsie, I thought you liked sushi.
Sushi? Sushi? You think this is about sushi?
Number 6. Chicken Little and Abby Mallard. Chicken Little. These lovebirds make a sweet young couple, but that doesn't mean they're going to be together forever.
You are not a loser. You're inventive and resourceful and funny and cute and...
What?
While teenage romances are special, not a lot of people end up with the first person they date. We expect that once these two get older, they'll go their separate ways.
Now that's closure.
Chicken Little and Abby first bond as outcasts, but by the end of the movie, that's no longer the case. The young rooster earns credibility after correctly observing the presence of aliens, and the ugly duckling is soon to grow into a swan. No longer ostracized by their community, both characters should take the opportunity to see who else is out there.
All right, that's it. We are doing an intervention. You have got to stop messing around and deal with the problem.
Number 5. Scamp and Angel. Lady and the Tramp 2, Scamp's Adventure. While we adore Lady and Tramp as a couple, we have a hard time getting behind the romantic pairing featured in Disney's 2001 direct-to-home video sequel.
Or play, or dig, or...
Run.
Right, or chase squirrels.
No, I mean run!
The film ends with Angel being adopted by Scamp's family, but we can't imagine that the two will remain an item. Scamp and Angel are young when they first meet, so it's likely they'll grow apart as they age. Plus, both of them seem wishy-washy about what they want out of life.
But I made it! This is everything that I've ever dreamed of.
Dreamed of what?
On a more practical note, it's unrealistic to expect a single suburban family to care for 7 dogs. It's possible that some or all of the puppies will end up being adopted by other families, which could result in Scamp and Angel being separated.
Actually, I've had 5 families.
I always thought 1 was too many.
Number 4. Kenai and Nita, Brother Bear 2. Considering Disney's 2006 film ends with Nita taking bear form in order to live with Kenai, it seems like a stretch to say that these two will split up, but hear us out.
Wait a minute. You can talk. I mean, you could understand me?
Yeah, the spirits did it, so when I found you, I could talk to you.
Well, Nita seems to have a habit of agreeing to lifelong commitments that she later backs out of. As kids, she and Kenai are spiritually bound, but after growing up, Nita makes a journey in order to break that bond.
It's no big deal. It's only a little trinket.
Little trinket?
Well, what I mean is we were just silly kids.
She gets engaged to a man named Atka and almost marries him twice, but in the end decides not to. All this back and forth has us thinking that she is likely to end up changing her mind about being a bear.
Do you ever miss being human? I mean, have you ever thought about changing back?
Number 3. Cinderella and Prince Charming, Cinderella franchise. These two fall in love under false pretenses, which is why we doubt their longevity as a couple. When they first meet, Cinderella is presenting herself as a well-dressed woman of status, as opposed to the scullery maid she is.
Goodbye.
No, wait. You can't go now, it's only...
Oh, I must. Please, I must.
Prince Charming is taken with his first impression of her, and the two aren't shown interacting again before tying the knot. The sequels show them getting along well as a married couple, but that doesn't mean they are totally compatible.
No, of course. I can see you're busy. I'll let you go.
Based on the reaction Prince Charming has when Anastasia is presented as his mystery date, beauty is a big deal for him. We suspect he's only with Cinderella because of her good looks.
And I threw in some magic with a bippity-boppity-boo, just like the night I sent you to the ball.
So that's how Cinderella did it.
Number 2. Aurora and Prince Philip, Sleeping Beauty. Philip doesn't strike us as someone who's good at respecting boundaries, which is why we think this relationship will eventually end.
Oh!
I'm awfully sorry. I didn't mean to frighten you.
When they first encounter one another in the forest, the prince joins Aurora in song and dance without being invited. Based on the look on her face, the princess is taken off guard by this, and doesn't know how to respond.
It's just that you're
A stranger?
Mm-hmm.
But don't you remember? We've met before.
We have?
Well, of course. You said so yourself. Once upon a dream.
Later on in the film, Philip kisses the Sleeping Beauty awake, a move that is pretty creepy by today's standards. It seems like Philip lacks respect for the person who's supposed to be his wife. We hope Aurora realizes this and chooses to move on.
Goodbye!
But when will I see you again?
Oh, never! Never!
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Snow White and the Prince, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Disney princesses are well known to have epic romances. Too bad we have a hard time believing the one that started it all will last.
Did he say he loved you? Did he steal a kiss?
He was so romantic, I could not resist.
This couple hardly interacts with each other before riding off into the sunset. The prince appears once at the beginning of the film to sing a duet with Snow White, and then again at the end to wake her with a non-consensual kiss. It's evident that they are only interested in each other because of their mutual good looks and beautiful singing voices.
My heart keeps singing of one love only for you.
Although those are nice qualities to have, they alone aren't enough to build a strong, lasting relationship. We doubt these two have the ability to hold a conversation with each other, let alone maintain a long-term bond.
Wait, please. Don't run away.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.